All right, well, hey, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be in Psalm 146. We're going to look just at a couple verses that stood out to me, and here we go. Let's jump into it. So starting in verse 7, it says, it goes into, happy are those whose help is the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord their God. And then verse 7, who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry, the Lord sets the prisoner free. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous. The Lord watches over the strangers. He upholds the orphan and the widow. And this idea of justice, I kind of wanted to define and look at what is justice. And I think it's this like moral compass of doing the next right thing, of kind of pursuing righteousness, having that right character, the right mentality to act or to speak when the occasion arises. And so I think that's really what I see here as justice. I see the Lord acting out justice. And this phrase, to do the next right thing, has kind of been just circulating this past week in my mind. Kind of the first time I heard it was one of our men's lunches that we did last fall. Matt Tuggle was interviewing Luke Davis, shout out if you're watching this, and he just talked about along his journey in life, how he kind of continued to make decisions was like, what is the next right thing? What is God calling me to do? Whether maybe I hear from God or not, what is the next right thing to do? And so for me, that phrase has just come up again and again, and I think it ties into the justice that the Lord is showing here in Psalm 146, that God is bringing this freedom to each of these different people. It says that he opens the eyes of the blind. He lifts up those that are bowed down. He loves the righteous, watches over the stranger, and upholds the orphan and the widow. All these different people groups, all these different types of people. The Lord is bringing a sense of freedom that is unrestricted, maybe in thought or in action or some type of healing that they are experiencing because the Lord is creating these moments of actionable justice, I guess you could say. And when I think about us and our relationships with God, when we are walking in the freedom that God has for us, I believe that freedom that we are walking in is moving us closer to the heart of the Father, to the things that God really cares about in this world. Because let's not get it twisted. We know that there's so much hurt and pain and brokenness, not only in the world out there, but also within us. That things that we're carrying, that we need healing and transformation in, but also in the lives of the people here in the Metroplex, here in Dallas, that we all are in need of healing. We're all in need of freedom. And the more that we can identify what are those places that I need freedom in, and what are those places where I can help bring freedom or I can help bring justice to those around me, to those that God has entrusted me with, whether that's my family or my coworkers, my friends, whoever God has kind of placed in our path. I think in the intersection of who God places in our paths and us going about our days, there's going to be moments where we can help people participate in justice and in freedom and doing the right next thing. So friends, for you this week, what is God calling you to do? What is the next right thing God's calling you to do? And how can you participate and help people experience freedom as well? I think of the verse here to just kind of close out our time, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And so if the Spirit of God that is living and is inside of us to help us look more and more like Jesus, if it is helping us to mature in Christ, then also that's going to bubble out in our actions, in the way that we live, the way that we treat people, the way that we interact with one another. And so how can the Spirit of God help lead you into pursuing acts of justice and freedom this week? Friends, take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you here soon.